expected. Lots of proposals going out, lots of leads still getting generated. So yeah, overall, but I wanted to kind of see how you guys are doing. So that's awesome that we're helping. So yeah, Matt, I mean, this is a little different. We've never done one on just a mobile only version. And I suppose it's worth mentioning a couple things about Check Cherry's native apps. One is it was a long outstanding feature request, Matt, early on in Check Cherry's life, right? People would constantly ask for a native app, and we just had other things we thought were higher priority and that we wanted to do. And Check Cherry is available. All the features work great on a web browser, right? Safari on your iPhone or Chrome on your Android or whatever it is on your mobile phone. And the Check Cherry app is designed really more for admin and staff access and management. So you can't right now build your Check Cherry account all within. You can't really manage packages and stuff. And so that's kind of a line we've drawn in order to, I guess, just reduce the scope of the app right now. Also, clients don't log in at the moment. And so there's several things, but we still see a lot of opportunity in the app and a lot of things to come. But I think we just kind of show around what the iPhone app and the Android app can do. And I think Matt, if you want to go ahead and share and
Absolutely. So yeah, so as Jed mentioned, the app is available on both iOS and Android. The features are pretty much the same between them. As far as, as long as the device supports something, we should be able to
well, and I guess
on both
it
both
is
devices.
it.
So
Sometimes you might be in another country and it's not available too, right? I suppose that's also what.
yeah, so it's only in our supported countries. So Check Cherry, if you go to our FAQ page, there's a certain number of countries that we're supported in, for various reasons, language, currency, time zones, all that kind of stuff. So Check Cherry is only available in certain countries, and when you go to the App Store, the app stores are localized to countries. So they don't really let you download it if you're in a different country. So it doesn't come up often, but once in a while people have, even
Worth
if you
mentioning.
download it while you're in the US and go to a different country, you should be fine. It would just be if you, live full time in a country that we don't support, you
Yep.
run into issues. So but in general, any recent modern iOS Android device should be fine. If you have problems, of course, let us know. If it doesn't work, especially with less common devices, we might not have tested it on that. So just let us know if you run into issues. But the app is aimed primarily at staff and admin accounts. So we don't have it as something for customers. We think a big part of Check Cherry is, from the customer side of things, it's accepting proposals, it's booking online and things like that. And forcing somebody to download an app before they go through that process, we just don't think would have a very good conversion process. That being said, I could see us opening up, some of the things like the questionnaires or the customer portal side of things to customers in the future. Um, but yeah, so it's kind of aimed at staff and admins. And to me, kind of the killer features or the big things you get from the app that you don't get from the web are push notifications. So when a payment comes in or a booking comes in or things like that, through the app, we're able to send out push notifications. Whereas with the web, you're stuck on, basically you're going to get either email or text messages. And then for your staff, I think it's real helpful for staff that don't want to have to remember a login or things like that. They can log in, it'll keep them logged in, and the next time, whenever they want to check their calendar, check their events, things like that, they can go over and they don't need to log back in. But yeah, so once you log into Check Cherry, into the app, just search for Check Cherry on the App Store, download it, and it'll ask for your login. You'll enter that, and you're good to go. So, depending on what permissions you have, I'm logged in with an admin account. I'm going to be able to see more or less. So if your staff are logged in, if you've got them more limited, they're only going to be able to see kind of the same type of stuff that they can see on the web. So maybe just bookings they're assigned to, maybe they're not able to see proposals or leads or things like that unless you've given them extra permissions. And so, So it's kind of organized similar to, the CheckCherry website. If you go to the sales dropdown, you'll see within there things like bookings, proposals, leads. And so the app is kind of organized like that. So if we go into our confirmed bookings, it's going to show, what we have coming up. You can go to see past ones if you need to. You can go and drill down if you need to, change sort order. Most of the sort options and filtering options that are available on the web are going to be available here too. So if you just need to see, clients that haven't filled out their questionnaires yet, you can do that. And once you go into one of those bookings, then you're going to see an overview of the details of that booking. So in general, we've got apparently this package was called RFP booking. If you go to something else, if it has multiple packages, you'll be able to see those, the date, the time, the package name. You can go in, tap it to make changes, and you'll see these plus icons in a lot of times in a lot of places. And so those are kind of a quick way to add something that's not already there. So if I need to add another package, I can do that real quick. And the pricing will update, basically it works real similar to adding the package.
Matt, we have a quick question.
Yep.
Is it possible to add user staff from the app, kind of staff members, users, that type?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is
Broke up a
it,
little.
can I add a staff member from the
Oh,
app?
I don't think we no. Let's see, good question. No, we don't actually have a way to add staff. And I could see that making sense,
It seems reasonable.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Also, they say that the app is great. I'm able to onboard new clients, build out their package, and send out proposals on the go. I love it.
Awesome. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
pocket.
definitely
I think
let
I'm
us
saying
know.
that right.
Yeah, go ahead. Definitely let us know, if there's things in the app that you want to be able to do. Like I think, setting up staff is totally reasonable. So we don't get a ton of feedback on it. So
Mhm.
definitely let us know
Chat with us, yeah,
yeah.
from within your account, yeah.
And so going back into the booking, you can do things setting up your venue, um, you know, if I need to, set an address, make changes, and it's going to do things like, it'll recalculate the travel and taxes and things like that. You can assign staff if you need to. So if I need to add somebody to a booking, I can do that. Set my notes, media for after the event, and then under additional info, those are going to be like kind of your custom questions. So if you've got extra questions that are kind of outside the normal things that we ask by default, you can go in and set those up as well. And then here at the bottom, as long as you have permission, you'll be able to see the pricing, payments, things like that. So this pricing section, that's going to have the total, the tax, tax amount, all that type of stuff. And if you go in there, if you tap on that, you can see the full details. So this is kind of a complicated one. We've got a bunch of discounts and packages and things going on. And so that'll show everything.
Mhm.
And down at the bottom, we can see the total. And of course, you can go in, override, if you need to change the price or something like that, you can do that as well.
We got a comment here. App looks great. I would like to set up a call to discuss some ideas. Think will enhance the already open to suggestions. We're absolutely open to suggestions. We don't take calls for feature requests. Chat with us from within your account, or just chat with them here. It's fine. Or send an email to support at CheckCherry. But we can't take calls. It just takes. We get a lot of feature requests, but just send them over. Just chat as they come up. As they come up, just chat. We're always looking to improve CheckCherry. Obviously, one of our constraints is just time and priority. So really, like one of the challenges that we have is just where do we focus our efforts, basically, to make CheckCherry better. So. But we would love the feedback. Yeah, absolutely. So chat with us, send an email, or just drop them right here. Yeah.
Similar, if you need payments, you can see what payments have been made, make changes, record a new payment, enter a manual payment if you need to, things like that. You can also collect a customer payment, and what that's going to do is bring up a QR code that they can scan. So if you're at the event and you just need to quickly, send the customer to the payment page. This will let you do that. So that way they can do it on their own device. It's secure. You can also tap that QR code if you really want to go there yourself and, it'll take you right to the payment page as well. We don't in the app currently have like a tap to pay type thing, but it is something that I can see us, adding in the future. Depending on App Store review and things like that. And then down to the bottom, you can see your profitability. So that's going to be any expenses you have are going to come out of that. And then your gross revenue is going to be, your revenue minus expenses will give your profit. So if you need to record some expenses, you can do that as well. Maybe you're at the event or you're, on the way, you just need to enter a receipt or something real quickly. You can do
Yeah,
that.
Matt, are you cool if we open up the mic to Audie?
Absolutely. Please do.
He's got his hand up.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey,
Yep,
How you guys doing?
we're good.
good.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm well. Thanks as usual for putting this together. My only issue with the app, I've been using it for a while. I love it. But when I receive a notification and I click on that blue notification, it doesn't take me to that particular, let's say a client's view, a proposal that I sent. Because the way I have my setup up is they fill out maybe Google form or Facebook leads. I'm trying to run Zapier. That one is not working perfectly, but I'm still learning to get it well. And it creates a leads for them in Zapier. I send it to them. They view it. So the problem is sometimes I want to just be able to click on it and go to that particular proposal, but it doesn't do that. It just take me to the home screen. And that's for everything. Is there anything we're going to be doing about that soon? Just a
Yeah,
suggestion.
so we actually do when something like a proposal comes in or whatever, we actually do include a link. It's called deep linking that and then when you tap it, we'll parse that link, send it over to send them to the page. That being said, it's the phones are a little bit what seems to happen is if something gets rejected or certain things happen and it kind of like silently stops working, what I would recommend is uninstalling the app and installing it again to that way because it's probably an OS problem would be my guess. You can also in the kind of in that top like hamburger menu, you can also go to notifications and and see one of them if you need to and see, that should take you right there as well. But theoretically, it should be taking you there when you tap them, or if you miss it, you should be able to go to the notifications and then tap from there. That said, if you uninstall and reinstall and it's still not working, let us know. We can, maybe there's something else going on. But yeah, it should actually do that. It should take you right to that proposal when you tap it.
I wish it was like the web.
Thanks.
URL work,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, some of the similar with push notifications, we do send out push notifications, but if you're not getting those for any reason, there's a lot of different settings on phones now to control different things, and so it's easy for it to stop working and we don't even know. Basically a lot of that stuff is handled by the OS on
Right.
uh, Android and iPhone both. So a lot of times we don't even have a way to know it's not working. But generally speaking, for most things, reinstalling will
It
kind of
should
clear everything
work.
out. Yeah.
Blow up the
Um,
install.
there's also probably a setting somewhere you can tweak or change, but trying to dig down into the settings app sometimes is hard.
Great
So
question. Let us know if it doesn't keeps not working.
mhm.
Yeah.
And so going back to one of these bookings, so kind of the way we have it organized is, we've got this overview tab at the top here, and that's going to have a lot of your, notes, just kind of about the event. If you go over to the resources tab, that's where you're going to be able to see things like your questionnaires, checklists, designs. If you need to manually upload an attachment, you can do that as well. Um, and so if I go into my questionnaires, if I need to make changes, something we recently released was an update to allow you to edit these directly. So if you've got like a staff questionnaire or something like that, they can come in and fill out a questionnaire or do things like that now. Submit as final if they need to, things like that. Similarly, for checklists, if you have kind of, things to do, your staff or you can come in, check things off, add new items, things like that. And then similar for designs and attachments. Then the last tab here is the messaging tab. And so with messaging, you can kick off a new email, you can read things that came in. And one thing that can be kind of helpful with the messages is to make use of the templates. So if you do have any templates already set up, you can come in and use those as well. The templates can even support attachments. So if you've got a custom template with attachments or things like that, you know, bring in the attachment as well. So, you know, you can have the invoice automatically go out, or, you know, if you've got some kind of a FAQ, you know, PDF or something you send people, or a sales PDF or things like that, you can automate that as well.
Maurice asked a question. If a client doesn't answer one of the questionnaires, will it alert me through the app?
Um,
I
the
don't think so.
no,
You can
yeah,
set up an email, but I don't think an
yeah,
app notification.
yeah, you can set up email notifications to let you know that, hey, it's, you know, a week before or whatever. You could set up a number of those to go out to you. With the push notifications, it's a little, you know, it's a little harder for us to kind of offer that. But what you can do, if you go to the little three dashes at the top and go to settings, that's where you can set your push notification types. So by default, everything is enabled, and you can kind of see, you know, when bookings come in. We do notify you when a questionnaire is marked as complete. Um, you know, we just don't do with incomplete because we don't, you know, when would we send it, or, you know, how would that work? Similar things like, you know, if it's signed, if payments are recorded, various proposal things.
Maurice, also inside the web version of CheckCherry where there's some reporting, there's also a bunch of filters like show me bookings that have questionnaires that are not complete or something on the left-hand side. And that could be really helpful for just kind of getting a quick view of like what still needs to be done, basically, but you can also send an email. But yeah.
Yeah, and you can in the app too, you can also see which ones have,
Oh, it is
you
right there. Okay, yeah. So there, click
yeah, that
filter.
filters in there.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. Sorry, maybe I wasn't paying
And
attention.
what's that? No, you're
Sorry,
good.
man.
And so yeah, so the messaging, you know, sending out a quick email or something is really easy. Under SMS, so if you've enabled Twilio in your account, that's gonna allow you to send SMS messages through you know, through CheckCherry, or through our website, or through the app as well. So that'll go out through your Twilio account, and you can even do things like the send later and whatnot. And then under automated, that's where you can kind of, you know, kick out. It's kind of like our quick send on the web, where you can click, you know, just quickly send one of your templates out, and that'll go out, you know, to the customer based on your settings as well. And then one other thing we'll look at on these bookings. So down here at the bottom in the footer, you know, there's a few more quick options. So just kind of some quick links, you know, quick new message, quickly collect a payment, things like that. If you click this arrow, the Sharrow, I've heard it called, that's where you can get a link for the web. So if you just need to share a link to somebody, or, you know, in iMessage, or, you know, copy it or something like that, you can do that. And then similarly, you can open it on the web. So that can be helpful if you just want to get over to the website version. And then this gear thing has just kind of other general settings that don't really fit in anywhere else. So if you need to change the status, or you know, set your other settings that we kind of have buried, you know, as far as your cover photos, or, you know, balance due dates or things like that, you can do that as well. And so if we go back here to proposals, proposals are going to be real similar. So with the proposal screen, you know, you can quickly see your proposals, make changes, and basically it's, you know, real similar to the
Real, yep. We
yeah,
have Khaled wants to add something. Let
yeah.
me know if I can talk. So,
Hi
and also
guys, how are you?
raise
Hey,
your
good.
hand anytime too. I
Um,
don't even know how to do it,
I'm trying to figure out where to raise my hand on the
but
app.
that's a thing. But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, so basically, just to answer whoever it is that said something about the questionnaire and everything, my what I could add on to that is that you can do a notification that it gets sent to you by email, and it's like a reminder email, automated. I do it 1 month before before the actual booking. And if it's not, you can also check out a part. If like put a condition, if it's not finalized, send it again 3 weeks before, send it again 2 weeks before. And most of the time, brides and grooms don't have everything finalized for the questionnaire until about a week or two before their event. So my advice to you is have your automated system work for you so you don't have to stress. And also clients, as much as annoying it could be, but it's a reminder for them. And then they realize your worth when they see the effort that your system is doing to better their event.
Rory says, cool. And it's Khaled, right? Not Khalid. I always want to say Khalid.
It's Khaled, like DJ Khaled.
Khaled. There it is, Matt. Sorry.
It's all good, guys. So that's my suggestion to everybody, guys. Honestly,
Yeah.
just use the automated system to your benefit. Check Cherry makes your life way easier.
Love it.
Yeah, and I agree in terms of it's how often you get, my kids are starting school soon, and how often, I've gotten multiple notifications about, confirming their data or whatever, and
How
sometimes
dare
it
you
takes me
not drop
too long to
everything and
find it.
act right away?
Yeah.
Drop everything. I got an
It's
email.
like, oh yeah, I need to do that. And so go back to the proposal. Kind of the main big difference between the proposal is at the top, you'll see these quick links. Right now, it'll show in your version of the app, we'll have the send proposal to customer. And that'll let you quickly send that. Somebody pointed out, the other day that we don't have a great way to preview it. So this will be coming out in the next version of the app where that'll take you over to just quickly view the web version that customers see.
Oh, nice.
Kind of an obvious thing that, just, yeah.
It's easy for us to have oversights. I mean, there's a lot to cover. And so again, if you ever have feedback, just chat with us, yeah.
Yeah. And similar leads, it's going to look real similar if you're doing leads as well. So, you can see whatever information was collected. And just a reminder, leads typically, they can come from people that started to book you but didn't finish for whatever reason. If you do any like lead capture forms or contact forms on your website, those can come from there. And then of course you can manually add leads as well. So
And just, love it. Another one is if you basically want to raise your hand, Maurice is letting us know at the very bottom there's a react action or something like that down there. So that will allow you to raise your hand. Yeah.
awesome. And on the lead page, the settings thing in the bottom left is especially useful because you can go there to convert to proposal or archive it if it's kind of junk or flag it as spam or things like that. So you can also change the status, if you make use of the different lead statuses, hot, warm, cold, all that stuff. You can quickly do that as well. So all those features are frequently accessed for sure. Mini sessions, kind of on the photographer side, if you use mini sessions, you can access those within the app. And then appointments, obviously those are useful if you make use of the appointments. We think of appointments as more like, meetings or, planning sessions, or, if you do kind of a pre-sales consultation, you can embed kind of like a Calendly type calendar on your website, and your appointments will come in here as well. So again, that's helpful for you, but it's also helpful for staff. If they're in their account, they can see any appointments they're assigned to. If you've got somebody that needs to, that needs to be on the call or things like that, you can make sure that they're on there as well. Unclaimed bookings. This one is useful for particularly on the staff side. And those are going to be bookings, if you've got the settings enabled in your account to allow staff to request or claim bookings themselves, then they can go here to see those. And so that'll just show any that are, waiting to be, that are available for them. And then if you're an admin, you'll see this pending review that'll let you approve them as well. So, for a lot of people, they have it configured that a staff request to work an event, and then within the app, then you get that notification. You can come here and approve it or deny it or whatever you want to.
Got another question. Can I integrate my Calendly?
So what you can do, there's not like a direct, I'm not sure what a direct integration of Calendly would look like, but what you can do, Calendly syncs with, various calendars, including Google Calendar. CheckCherry also syncs with Google Calendar. So if you've got, if you currently use Calendly, you can enable that Google Calendar sync, and then we'll be able to pull in any events from your calendar and show them within CheckCherry, block off availability, things like that.
I mean, it's
Uh,
also worth mentioning we have the appointments feature, right? I mean, are you aware of the appointments feature in CheckCherry? There's you might be able to ditch, yeah, there's appointments and you might not need Calendly basically. So there's an appointments feature. There's a webinar on it. I can dig that up. That kind of will go through that stuff. But yeah, I'll post a link in it in the chat.
yeah. Yeah, and I think we still use Calendly ourselves, so it's Calendly's great, and but yeah, we do have kind of a simple form of Calendly that might be enough for a lot of use cases. And then if we go down to the activity section, we can see some more things. The calendar, I think, is very useful. So that's where you can kind of see everything, at a glance. Your confirmed bookings, proposals, whatever you want to see, you can turn on and off as needed, and go to different months, things like that. And then checklist, that's going to have all of your to-do items. So again, that's going to be, kind of similar to on CheckCherry. If you go to sales, I think I might call it to-do list on the web, but that'll have all of your checklist items, listed in one place. The message center, that's going to be basically any messages that are awaiting review. So if you make use of that feature where instead of having the messages go out directly, you prefer to review some of them, you can do that and, send those out quickly. You can also make edits or, send them later, things like that as well. Scheduled messages, kind of similar. When you're going to send a message, we do have an ability to let you schedule it later. So that'll show that. And then if you just want to see all of your message history, that one that I just kicked out to example.com that got dropped, you can see that history as well. And then at the very bottom, we've got a few tools that can be useful. So if you just want to quickly check availability on the web or on, through the app, you can do that. You can drop in a package, gold, somebody's like, oh, why aren't you available on July 2nd or something? You can drop in a date and time and we'll, check whether it's available or not. Similar to the set time off, that can be useful for you, but also for your staff. So if they need to come in and set their availability, that's where they're going to do it, through that time off section. And then at the bottom, we've got a couple things. The online booking links. So feedback that we got was that, hey, I want to let my customers book me. I've got the app installed. How can I let my customers go through the online booking? And so we added that recently. And basically what that lets you do is go to a page, and then they can scan that QR code. You can copy the link and email it to them or text it to them. You can hit share and share it through iMessage or whatever. For
Got
people
some more
that have,
questions here.
yeah, you can do that.
So Jody says, I was late joining. Is there a way to see the dashboard?
Yeah, for as far as the CheckCherry
Customizable widget dashboard?
customizable widget dashboard, no. We'd like to, we'll probably have more stuff like that. It's just, frankly, it wouldn't fit well within the app, and there's some kind of limitations as to what you can do with native apps that would make it a little bit hard. So I would definitely, if you go to the web version of CheckCherry, I think that if you really need access to absolutely everything, I think that's still the kind of the best way to do that. So coming out soon, we've got a few CheckCherry payments features coming out soon with you'll be able to see things like your payments, your payouts, stuff like that through the app as well. So So that's not in there yet, but you'll see that in our next update as well. So, and the last couple things, if you go to the kind of this, hamburger menu in the top right, those are just kind of some quick links to jump to other places for the most part. But if you're in on the bookings page or something like that. But a couple things that are useful are the notification section. So that'll have a place where you can see all those notifications, tap them to go straight there, etc. And then the settings is where you can kind of go in and, there's a few just kind of system-wide settings. So if you prefer Google Maps over Apple Maps or, whatever, you can change that. And then that's where you can set up your push notifications as well. So for a lot of common errors, if it shows an error or something about, not showing push notifications, a lot of times that'll have some info about, if there's something you need to do, like give us permission or something like that as well. So, but yeah, just let us know if you have any problems with push notifications, anything like that. We can certainly give advice and see, what we can do. So. So yeah, so I think those are, kind of the feature overview. I guess the only other thing we didn't mention is, obviously click the plus in the bottom right. That's where you can kind of do some of the real common things like, create a proposal, create a booking, create a lead, create an appointment, things like that. So yeah, so I think those are, that's kind of the overview of the features and functionality. There's yeah, happy to take any questions or anything else.
Yep, it's come a long way and plenty to do still. Yeah. So yeah, if anybody has comments, questions, feel free.
Yeah, this is Audie.
Hey.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to try that. I don't want to mess up things later. But my question is not really related to the app.
Yeah.
So I can keep it to later, or if it's okay if I
Oh,
can
that's fine.
ask
You got
about
time.
it. Okay. So basically, I'm trying to look for a way to use Zapier whereby when I do Facebook, like maybe I'm running ads, I want to be able to get the leads. But I notice after I run it for maybe like 2 or 3 days, it just cut off. So I don't know if it's like a limitation on my side with Facebook or it was with what's it called? Check Cherry, because you guys have some pre-made ones that are pretty good. So I'm still working and learning to do better. So Matt, I don't know if you'll be able to help with that. Just something that I've been working on the last 2 weeks.
So the Zapier stopped running after a while.
Yes, like 2 days it just stopped running.
Okay. So within Zapier, if you log in, it should tell you like there should be kind of a log that'll show more information. Where it'll have, I don't know how to get I don't know exactly where that is, but if you click on like the Zap within your account, there should be like kind of a logs or a history, and it should tell you if there's an error. Because what happens with Zapier is if there's an error, it'll stop after a while. Like it'll accept like once it gets like 3 errors in a row or something like that, it'll stop working. And so like as an example, maybe you're pulling in data from CheckCherry, and then maybe it doesn't have something that Facebook or whoever is expecting, and then it causes an error, and then it stops. So if you look on the Zapier side, if you look for those logs, that should have more information. Um, if that doesn't help, we do have a way we can kind of get some more logging enabled on your account, so we can kind of see what's going back and forth. But my guess is those logs should have some more information about.
There's nothing we're doing, right? I mean, in terms of, I can't imagine.
Yeah, we send out the notifications, or it depends what kind it is, but yeah, generally speaking, those notifications should be going out until it gets disabled on the Zapier side for some reason.
Yeah, so that's why I was a little bit, because like it's just like a two-step kind of a thing. It's just like new leads from Facebook, grab all that, send it, create a lead in Check Cherry, which is pretty straightforward. So I'm thinking definitely it will be an issue from Facebook side,
Well, it
because
could
like
be like,
it doesn't even throw any error.
uh-huh.
Is the campaign done running, perhaps? No?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Is the campaign done running, or is it still ongoing? Like if you
So I kind of paused the campaign because I'm getting leads, but I have to do everything remotely. And sometimes, you know how people attention span there. And then by the time I call them, it's now dragging. So I'm like, instead of wasting money, just pause my campaign and try and figure it out. And I reach out to Zapier and they just being them, you know, they could care less now that they're making a lot of money. That's just the way I feel about it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's very interesting. So maybe put them on a spreadsheet and then from a spreadsheet to check cherry, see what that does. I don't know. That could be another.
Yeah, maybe that's
At
that's the
least they'll
other
have the
angle.
leads or something, but I don't, they're probably not coming over. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the because when I run it manually, it gets it.
Mm.
And then it runs again, then it stop again. So I'll double check with Facebook. Hopefully they can help with that. But
Yeah.
thanks.
And maybe some point we'll have an integration with Facebook directly. Um, I just
Yeah,
added
kind of
the
cool. Yeah.
library for Facebook to check cherry for our marketing purposes. So
Yeah, we do have under the Zapier. I don't know if it's going to help or not because my guess is they're not getting as far as us, but we do have in the Zapier settings, there's something called enhanced logging. And once you turn that on, we'll log all of the Zapier traffic, which can be helpful for kind of getting to some of those issues. We don't turn it on by default, because there could be sensitive information in there or things that, that that we don't want to be logging. But if you turn that on, that'll kind of give us some more data, and we can see, what's getting sent to check cherry, what we responded with. So, because certain things that come up, say you like submit an email, like a name in an email field to check cherry, that might get rejected. And, with a message like, oh, this isn't a valid email address. And then what can happen then is, you're never seeing those errors necessarily. So you don't necessarily know why it's not working. So turning on that enhanced logging might help as well.
Oh,
But
okay, thanks.
yeah,
I'll definitely
definitely,
look into it. And if anything, I'll let you guys know. Thank you so much for
yeah,
all the help.
look on the
yeah,
ad side. That's cool. Love it. Well, Matt, I mean, overall
yeah,
good. Anybody else have questions? Awesome. Well,
awesome.
yep. Thanks, Matt, for doing it. Everybody,
Thanks.
thanks for coming.
Yeah,
We thought this would be a shorter one, so there's, the app's got, it's pretty straightforward. So thanks for coming. Thanks for the kind words. DJing, feel free to sign up, send an email with that feedback, or not. I understand. Apologize if you get your feelings hurt. We just got a lot of priorities and got to manage the business in certain ways, and can't just do Zoom calls for feature request ideas. Even with existing customers, we don't do that. But yeah, have a good night, everybody, and thanks for coming.
thank you guys.